The Ceed is the success model of the brand Kia. Until now you could have ordered it as a Ceed, a sports wagon or the new Pro Ceed. But now the family got a new member with the new compact crossover called XCeed. And this is the car I'm driving today. The XCeed is part of the Kia Ceed family, but this is a completely new car, and so the only body parts that this car has in common with the standard Ceed are the front doors. When you look at the front of the car, you instantly see that car is a bit wider than the standard Ceed, and it's exactly 26 mil because it's 1.83 m. And then have a look at the front grille. This is completely new, more flat, more wide, and very important, that car always comes as standard with full LED headlamps and LED daytime running lights. When you then look at the front bumper, we have a very wide car here with a big air intake down here, and so I think that car looks from the front extremely solid, even though it is quite small. With 4.40 m in length, the XCeed is about 85 mm longer than the standard Ceed, and that even though both cars featuring the same wheelbase with 2.65 m. But let's have a look at the design. When you look at the front, you do find typical for Kia a very long hood, and what I really like with the car are these headlamps which are running right into the side of the car. And then look at these wheels, 18-inch, but the XCeed comes as standard on 16-inch alloys. And to make the car look a bit more, let's say off-roady, we do find these claddings here, the wheel arches and the claddings here at the side of the car, and that together really gives the car a bit more robust look. And to say, this looks like an off-roader, that car features more than 18 centimeters of ground clearance. But to make the car more beautiful, you do find a roofline which drops to the rear, and this is underlined by the side window graphics, and that really gives the car the extra push to the front, makes it more dynamic and makes it really looking very unique. Looking at the rear of the XCeed, you instantly see we have a very flat rear window, and that this stops here under the spoiler at the rooftop. Here at the bottom we do have a very sharp line here which gives the car width, and then when you look more down you do of course find the Kia logo and the signature XCeed. And then to make the car look a bit more robust, we do find let's say a bit of a fake under-ride protection here at the rear. But to make the car even look more sporty, we do find these exhaust pipes here, which are fake pipes because the real exhaust is beneath the car. And I think something very interesting are, as with the front, these taillights here, because they are as standard in LED and they do run into the side of the car, and that really underlines the shoulders of the XCeed, and so the car looks from the rear, I think, very robust, very solid. And by the way, this is the view which I like the most regarding to the XCeed. The interior of the XCeed is quite modern because that car for the very first time features a full digital 12.3-inch cockpit if you want. It's an optional feature but very nice, and you can configure it the way you want. But for me more important is the car comes as standard with a 5-inch screen here at the center console, or if you have the next trim level with an 8-inch. But the top version is more than 10-inch, and this inside of such a small car really is something extremely special. It looks a bit like a telly at the center console, and that really lifts the interior of the car to the next level. Talking about the materials and the craftsmanship inside of the car, I can tell you everything looks very nice, and you do find soft touch materials all around here at the top level of the interior. You only find plastic down here at the center console or inside of the doors, and I think this is very nice for the class. And I really do like the look of the car here because we do drive the launch edition, which means we do have this yellow stitching here, the door panels on the seats, and we do have these yellow frames here at the outtakes, and that is really something nice and makes this interior look so fresh and so modern. Regarding to the storage space inside of this XCeed, I have to say we do find, as expected, quite nice compartments here. The door panels, we do have on top 2 cup holders in the center console and a smaller compartment here at the front, in front of the gear stick, and then on top you have beneath the armrest an extra, I think, quite nice compartment. And very important is with the front one here, you do find there 12-volt sockets, 2 of them, as well as a USB socket, which you then can use for the optional Apple CarPlay or Android Auto devices. When the Kia XCeed hits the market, there will be 3 petrol and 2 diesel engines available for the car, and they offer a power range between 85 up to 150 kilowatt, which means we do talk about 115 up to 204 horsepower. The car is always a front wheel power car, so even it looks like an off-roady car, you cannot order all-wheel drive. Gear changing is always as standard with a 6-speed manual gearbox, but for the 3 most powerful engines you can order a double clutch transmission, which then offers 7 gears. Our car features the 1.4 litre 140 horsepower petrol engine, and that offers you a maximum torque of 242 Newton meters. And that is combined in our car with a 7-speed automatic gearbox. And this is a very nice package because that's powerful enough to accelerate the car in 9.5 seconds to 100, and that offers you a top speed of about 200 kilometers per hour. The drive is very nice and smooth, and the gearbox really makes the perfect job. The only thing is, if you really want to accelerate quick and you push the pedal to the metal, you do really see loads of revs, which give you some noise. But during standard driving, the noise level is very nice and the drive is really easy. Regarding to the consumption, Kia says the car should take a bit less than 6 liters per 100 kilometer driven in average. During our test drive we used between 7.5 up to 8 liters per 100 kilometer, but I think if you drive as a standard person, a standard traffic, you should expect something around 7. The suspension of the XCeed offers you, even though the car features 18 centimeters of ground clearance, the opportunity to drive the car, quite dynamic, but it's still very comfortable. That is a very nice mix. And on top of this, you do have a steering which really is precise enough without being nervous, and so you can drive the car a very nice way. On top of this, we do have the a sports mode option on board, because we do drive the automatic gearbox, and with that one, if you use that one, the steering gets a bit more heavy and the engine gets a bit more agile, and that gives you a feeling of a bit more, let's say, sportiness inside of your XCeed. The XCeed comes as standard, quite nice equipped, so the car features a cruise control as well as a climate control as standard. But if you want, you can have a lot more of luxury on board. So you can have heated seats front and rear, you can have a 2-zone climate system on board, and you can have loads of other extras like a rear view camera and so on and so on. And at the end of the day, if you do it the right way and choose the right options, you will find a very luxury compact car. The Kia XCeed starts with a 120 horsepower 3-cylinder petrol engine at 21,390 euros in Germany. For comparison, the Volkswagen T-Roc is available from 21,170 euros and offers a 3-cylinder with 115 horsepower. A Mazda CX-30 with a 122 horsepower 4-cylinder is available from 24,290 euros. Different to the Volkswagen or Mazda, the Kia is not available with all-wheel drive. But the Kia XCeed comes well equipped. So, for example, LED headlights, 16-inch alloy wheels and a cruise control are always on board. The XCeed comes as standard with the most important safety and security features. So it offers a front collision warning as well as a lane keeping assist. And I think the more important or interesting thing is you can order optionally loads of extra assistance and safety systems like rear cross traffic alert, traffic sign recognition, adaptive cruise control and all this stuff. And that really is something you will not find with every car in this class. Let's have a look into the boot of the XCeed. With the rear seats up, the XCeed offers 426 liters of maximum boot capacity. That's, by the way, about 30 liters more than with a standard seat. When you fold down the rear bench, that increases up to 1,378 liters. And important with that car is it always comes with a variable floor here, which means you can open it here and you have loads of extra capacity down here, and if you want, you can lower the floor by about 10 centimeters. The Volkswagen T-Roc offers 445 to 1,290 liters of maximum loading capacity. With 430 to 1,406 liters, the luggage compartment of the Mazda CX-30 features slightly more space than the Kia. The space the car offers here at the front seat is very, very nice. There is not so much headroom left for a tall person like me, but I do have this big sunroof mounted, so maybe you can have a bit more there if you just say I don't want it. But the rest is very nice, so I do have the opportunity to adjust the steering wheel the way I want, and so I really do find a very nice seating position, and that's really comfortable. But I think on the rear seats there's not so much space, but we will have a closer look at that while doing a short stop then. So have a look how much space we do find at the rear seats. No, that won't work for me, so I take my seat a bit more forward. That should be sufficient, so let's see if I can enter the car. It's for a big man like me not so easy to get in, but now I do sit. I do miss a bit of headroom, but I'm really tall, so for me that's not perfect. But I think if you're a standard person front, a bit more, yeah, that's shorter person at the rear, that could work. That was my test drive with the new Kia XCeed, and what I really like with the car, beside the nice and special exterior, is the interior, especially with our launch edition with these yellow extra elements. That really looks very nice and friendly. And then something very interesting, we do find for the first time a full digital cockpit optionally, and we do find an infotainment with a more than 10-inch touchscreen. That really is something special for that size of a car. What I don't like so much with the interior is the space at the rear seats, especially for a tall person like me. But I think if you're a standard driver and standard co-driver, that may work. It should work for short distances. But regarding to the headspace, we do have a slightly coupe shape, so you have to expect a bit less headspace. Talking about the engine, we drove the 1.4 liter petrol combined with a 7-speed DSG, and that really is a great combination. It's powerful enough, really drives very nicely, gear changing is absolutely smooth and easy. The only downside is when you really want to accelerate heavily, that car gives you massive revs, but as I said, for standard driving, really very nice. Regarding to the price, the entrance price here in Germany will be 21,390 euros for the base version. If you want the bit higher trim level, which is called Vision, you have to expect 2,500 euros more, but that is something you have to think about because you get loads of extras. If you want to drive the top version or the launch edition, you have to expect prices above 30,000 euros. But overall, I have to say, I really do like the car a lot, and I think this is an absolutely nice new member for the Ceed family.